In this video, I'm going to reveal the simple three-step system to get scholarship speed so you can run the fastest 40-yard dash of your career, turn coaches' heads at camps, and actually secure scholarship offers, all without relying on your high school coach, using a sketchy recruiting service, or hitting the gym 7 days a week. And I'm going to tell you exactly why your talent alone isn't getting you noticed. You're stuck at a speed plateau, and coaches aren't lining up for your phone number yet. So if you're watching this, you're probably a pretty talented football player and have the football skills. You have big dreams to go play college football, but you don't have the 40 time to get there. And what you've tried so far just hasn't dropped your 40 at all. And right now, your testing numbers have no wow factor. You leave camps, combines, and showcases disappointed. And ultimately, you don't have the offers that you want, which really sucks because you're way better than your competition or other kids on Twitter getting offered. You and your family have already invested a lot into your journey and you want to go D1. And the problem is you don't have a plan to get there. And if you don't figure something out, you're going to be stuck in the 4-8 for the rest of your career, and college coaches will skip right over you for the recruit who runs a blazing 40 time. But you would love to become so fast that coaches hand over their precious scholarship money without hesitation, and you get to pick up that hat on signing day to your dream school while your family, friends, and fans chant your name. And in this new age of recruiting, coaches' Twitters are filled with huddle films, and you need a different way to stand out, a way that doesn't rely on sketchy recruiting tactics, exposure, or spamming coaches. So I'll show you how other D1 recruits are generating attention on demand just by dropping their 40 time and optimizing their testing numbers. So right now, you're probably the king of Friday Night Lights, but you feel like just another player at camps, and that hasn't been enough to land the offers you actually want. So you know to take the next step in your football career, you have to stand out at camps, combines, and showcases. So if you're a talented football player and you're serious about getting coaching to take your speed and game to the next level, then this is for you. This is not for you if you're just starting out on your football journey, if your family isn't invested in you as a football player, and if you aren't going to any camps in the next 8 months, this is not going to be for you. But if that is you, then I have some news for you. After training over 600 athletes in person and 30 plus online, I have perfected a system that allows you to become the best athlete you can be without lifting 6 days a week or guessing what drills actually work. It's what helped Caleb build a relationship and visit multiple D1 schools and post some crazy numbers from a camp. And the system is called the Scholarship Speed System. It's the exact blueprint to run the fastest 40-yard dash of your career and actually play college football. This one-of-a-kind system that allows you to become a freak athlete that coaches chase around and to position yourself as a top recruit that would compare to a 4 or even a 5-star prospect, which means the Scholarship Speed System is the most effective path to melt precious tenths off your 40-yard dash so that you can hit that fifth gear and leave everyone else in the dust. It's the simplest, no BS way to get faster without having to rely on your high school coach, your strength coach, or generic workout programs. And you don't need good genetics or to come from a big school with fancy facilities. The Scholarship Speed System is turning football players with untapped potential who are flying under the radar into D1 athletes posting record-breaking times at showcases so they can turn heads at camps and zoom past their opponents on Friday nights by combining elite technique with fast twitch development. And the Scholarship Speed System can be broken down into 3 steps that are guaranteed to unlock D1 measurables. But before we get into that, who is this internet guy helping recruits play at their dream school? If you don't know who I am, my name's Will Straka. I'm the founder of Athletes University, and I was just like you. I was a high school football player who was pretty talented, but needed to become an elite athlete. But the nearest training facility was over an hour away, and after driving and training there for 12 months straight, I did become pretty close to an elite player after spending thousands in the process. I was first team All-State as a linebacker. I had All-State honors as a running back as well, which I had 11 touchdowns in the first 2 games my junior year, and I was a top 5 linebacker in the state. But when camp season arrived, I was unprepared. I had the football skills, but I was evaluated on a couple specific drills at these camps. Drills like the 40-yard dash, the 5-10-5 shuttle, the L drill, the broad jump, the vertical jump, and the bench press test. Drills I hadn't mastered yet, so while other recruits were running 4.5 40s and getting pulled aside by the coaches after the camp, my dad and I made the 5-hour drive home without an offer, yet again. And this was because I didn't have access to a combine coach whose only job it was to help me put up NFL level numbers. And what I needed was a mindset shift, one-on-one technique breakdown, and the exact movements, sets, reps, and progression so I could run, cut, and jump like a 5-star recruit. And at the end of the day, I still had no offers. I believe the lie, just ball out on Friday nights, and that's enough. I thought I could outwork my competition by lifting weights every day. And because of my ignorance, I was left with only a couple offers, 2 scholarships, and some walk-ons. And since then, I've coached and trained with D1 guys and NFL players, and I got mentored by an NFL combine coach. And I've been able to put up pretty elite numbers in those testing, like a 4.6 40, low 4s in the shuttle, low 7s in the L drill, and over 10 feet in the broad jump. And all of those numbers would rank in the top 20 to 25% of linebackers at the NFL Combine. And last season, I was the first team all-conference linebacker and team captain. So not only do I know exactly what not to do and the mistakes to avoid, but we've dialed in a proven process that has been delivering results with other players. I started Athletes University to help recruits like 16-year-old me develop into the best football player he can be and not be pigeonholed to an offer that you know you're better than. And in the last 18 months, my team and I have trained over 600 athletes in person and 30 plus online, helping them develop into elite football players and secure hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarship money. For those just starting out on the football journey, in-person training is usually good, right? Coaches spend most of their time and energy on the beginners. Group workouts are at the beginner's pace. If you haven't really worked out, lifted, or ran sprints before, group workouts are a good place to start because after all, I coached over 600 athletes in person. But I realized a massive problem because I was serving a ton of athletes in person, but the most talented, hardworking players were being held back, right? They couldn't progress at their own pace, and the program had to be cookie cutter to accommodate the entire group. And I couldn't pause time, ignore the other 20 athletes to actually give detailed one-on-one coaching without delaying the entire workout. So that meant group training does a disservice to the athletes who are like me, those who are talented and have football skills. They've already been working out for a while, and they need one-on-one coaching to be held to a higher standard than the rest of the group. So I started putting in extra hours, assigning custom programs and workouts to my in-person athletes that they could do on their own, 100% online. They could get in their custom work around their schedule as long as they had an internet connection, even if they had baseball, track, basketball, 7-on-7, church, or anything else that came up. I could review their mechanics and their technique on video, share all the secrets I learned from NFL Combine coaches, give them a customized program based upon their weaknesses, and actually hold them to a higher standard. And they could progress 100 times faster than their teammates, all without driving to a facility just to pay thousands of dollars for a cookie cutter group program they weren't even sure if it was going to drop their 40 time or translate to the field. And that's when I realized that one-on-one training is required if you're actually looking to play at an elite level. But in-person one-on-one, you'll pay $100 a session. If you do 4 sessions a week, that's almost $1,700 per month. So instead, I launched Scholarship Speed, a completely online one-on-one training system that compares to an NFL Combine prep program. So talented players all over the country can get elite coaching and elite results. Like Caleb Bailey, KB, our first client, go from unknown 0 offers to 35 D1 offers. This isn't meant to replace your entire workout structure because you probably have team lifts or position coaches to work football-specific drills, which is great, but those aren't helping you run a sub 4.6 40 or stand out at camp. So you need one-on-one speed and combine coaching to address the mistakes in your technique and have a custom program that works around your busy schedule so you can land the offers that you actually want. Like our guy Justin, he actually joined during track season because he needed to prepare for these football camps, right? And he needed to do it without overworking himself. And after just 1 session, he started at a 7.10 L drill, which is still a pretty solid time, but he was losing time in his first transition. And after 5 minutes of my one-to-one coaching, we fixed that first transition and he cut 0.4 off his time just in that 1 session. And then 2 days later, he ran the 100-meter dash at a track meet and he ran an 11.06. And it's not about loading up unnecessary work or time in the gym. Instead, we identified his weaknesses and his mistakes. We fixed his technique and his mechanics. And then I prescribed targeted drills to attack his weaknesses. And then lastly, progressing and adjusting his program to avoid a speed plateau. And there he is right there at a Texas State camp. Tim, who landed a $92,000 scholarship. We are not a recruiting service. We are not a library of drills. We are not an online course, and we are definitely not a cookie cutter approach. We work one-on-one with our athletes to become the fastest of their career by implementing our 3-step scholarship speed system. So what is that system? Step 1 is to build an iron mind, right? You don't have any offers right now because you don't have the scholarship mindset. You probably don't have any input goals. You're probably lacking competition and you need accountability. You don't have a villain. You know, if you could build an iron mind and set clear goals with one-on-one help to get there, then you'd finally be able to take that next step in your football career. Just like Josh, who struggled with his confidence, he had no input goals, and he knew he was always meant for more. And we helped him realize his goals, get locked in, and after a week, he was feeling more mobile, moving better, and hitting numbers in the weight room he didn't know he could. He dropped 0.28 off his 40 in just 4 weeks with us. And now his senior season, he set a school rushing record, which helped him take his first game day visit and actually land his first offer too. Step 2 is the 40-yard dash blueprint. If you run over a 4.7 40, you don't need exposure. You need to get faster, and you're not going D1 just by being a good emailer or benching 300 pounds. Right now, you probably train in person, either with your team or in a group setting, or you get workouts from TikTok or YouTube, and you work super hard, but you don't see the results that you want. And it's because your workouts don't translate to the 40-yard dash. The drills don't attack your weaknesses. Your mechanics aren't optimized. You can't progress at your own pace, and you aren't getting enough one-on-one coaching. And there's 3 phases to a 40-yard dash. The start. Your stance in your first step determines how your entire rep goes. Second, the drive phase. You need to accelerate quickly and melt down the middle of the rep. And lastly, top end speed. Your top end speed and your stride efficiency determines if you can burn the back end or if you get caught from behind on long runs. You need to optimize all 3 phases and do the right drills to attack your weaknesses in each phase so you can get more results with less work. And the truth is, you only get access to your coaches for 6 to 8 hours a week. Our athletes get access to me for 168 hours a week. When was the last time your trainer or coach sat down with you and laid out your custom plan to run a 4.4? Probably hasn't happened yet. And the bottom line is, you're not getting enough one-on-one coaching from your in-person trainer. So what do we do instead to progress our athletes exponentially faster? We lead you through the 40-yard dash blueprint, which is the exact formula to melt precious tenths off your 40 and turn you into a freak athlete that college coaches drool over and opposing coaches hate to game plan for, without spinning your wheels on why you can't get faster and more explosive. And it's exactly how Vance went from a 4.97 40, never thinking he'd be talking to a college coach, to dropping his 40 to a 4.68 and starting flying by his teammates in summer sprints. It helped Cannon earn Player of the Week honors as a sophomore, and this is how Caleb is putting up NFL-level times. Step 3 is a combine prep playbook. You already know that camps and combines are a coach's #1 evaluation tool, and you need to master the money makers, the 40-yard dash, the broad jump, the shuttle, and the L drill. 1 step or 1/2 second at the NFL Combine could be the difference between a first-round pick and a fifth-round pick, and that's millions of dollars. And for you, the difference between a 4.7 and a 4.5 could be the difference between a D1 scholarship with NIL and being a walk-on, and that's a lot of money. You being unprepared for the moneymakers is walking into a final exam without doing any of the homework or quizzes, or walking into a $100,000 job interview with no experience or preparation just because you don't know and you haven't practiced the techniques being used by NFL Combine coaches. And instead of landing a scholarship to your dream school, your family has to fork over their hard-earned dollars to send you to a school that doesn't even feel like home. And this especially sucks because your family has invested a lot into you already, but your opportunities are limited and you don't want to end up like everyone else. So instead of showing up to the final exam with no preparation, we'll give you the answer key so you can have an unfair advantage at camps. You probably have already been to a camp. You've probably seen other kids get offered at camp or on Twitter, and you know you're more skilled, but you're getting overlooked because your testing numbers aren't optimized and you lack confidence in these drills at camps, and it's not your fault. It's not because you don't have the ability or the work ethic. It's because you haven't been trained to dominate these couple key metrics. And the truth is, there are dozens of coaches at these camps, but they only have a couple hours to evaluate hundreds of recruits. So at the end of the day, To them, you're just a couple numbers on a spreadsheet, and if you don't pop off the sheet, then you're going home empty-handed. But it doesn't have to be this way. What you actually need is a proven system to turn your raw talent into D1 measurables, and it starts with fixing current imbalances and mastering mechanics. Then you need the right progressions to consistently elevate, and feedback analysis, and the right coaching. The right coaching to separate you from the pack without spending endless hours in the weight room, with a consistent and foolproof approach to attract eyeballs on demand and to help find the camps that are right for you and build a relationship with the coaches before the camp so you can schedule a visit and camp in the same weekend. It's how this D2 program is setting up an entire private visit for our guy Vance so he can go visit and go to camp in the same weekend. It's how Matthew jumped 10 feet in the broad jump and then visited a couple of the top D1 FCS programs in the nation. It's how KB earned SEC offers, and keep in mind, he started with none. KB is an offensive lineman, so it shows you just how important it is to SEC coaches that you're able to run, cut, and jump at an elite level. If it's important for an offensive tackle, then it's important for literally everyone on the field. It helped Miles land his first D1 game day visit and now have a busy junior offseason with 3 different junior days. So if you want to learn how you can do this too, if you're a talented football player and you've already had some on-field success, but your 40 time and other testing numbers are holding you back from offers, but you want to run the best 40 time of your career this offseason, then book a strategy session Zoom call with me or my team below. The Zoom call is free. We'll talk through your situation and see if you're a good fit for my paid program. But I'm very particular about who I work with. At the time of this recording, got about 17.3 thousand followers, but only working with 16 athletes full-time, which is about 0.09%. Because it's a one-on-one program, I have to cap the total at 25 athletes this offseason, meaning right now there's 9 spots remaining when I record this, probably less when you're watching this. This isn't for you if you've never lifted weights or ran a sprint, if you have no football talent, or if you won't be attending a college camp, combine, or showcase in the next 8 months. If you're not starting on your current team, if your family's living paycheck to paycheck and can invest in you going to camps, or if you miss workouts or class, this is definitely not for you. But this is for you if you've already had some success, but you want to take your speed and game to the next level so you can stand out at camps and land scholarship offers. I'm going to help you develop an iron mindset so you can get the most out of your football career, train you one-on-one so you can run the fastest 40 of your career, and optimize your testing numbers so you can get D1 measurables. You will need your parents or financially responsible guardians on the Zoom call so they can ask any questions they have, and we can get you started right there on that call if we are a good fit. So how does it work? Scholarship Speed is a 10-week program coaching you to be the fastest, most agile, and explosive player you've ever been. Our best clients see noticeable changes in speed, power, strength, and mobility in just a couple sessions, and coaches start taking notice in about 4 weeks. The average client will drop 0.25 to 0.35 off their 40 time in about 2 months, but every client finishes the program running their fastest 40 time ever and prepared for camp and combine season. There's video movement evaluation to identify imbalances and goals. It's a personalized training program with technique breakdown and progressions. There's step-by-step training review, which is more attention than you'd ever receive in person. There's 3 one-on-one calls built into the program and 24/7 messaging access to me to guarantee you get the help you need. And there's a community of other players. There's weekly live recovery Zoom calls, which are led by me with injury prevention, mobility, and yoga sessions. The group calls are all recorded, so in case you do miss them, you can go back and watch them. There's literally unlimited support, resources, and information from me. Day 1 in the program, you'll get access to our messaging, community, and classroom. I'll analyze your situation and create the most efficient path to success for you. You'll have 2 to 4 action steps with videos walking you through exactly what to do. After you complete the action steps, we'll jump on a one-on-one call reviewing what you just did and giving you your custom program. There are 3 one-to-one calls naturally built into the program. These serve as milestones, signaling that you're on the right track, and you'll have 24/7 access to me, and you can schedule any additional one-on-one calls that you might need. So first, you're going to learn the scholarship mindset. You're going to set clear input goals to progress 10 times more efficiently, and you're going to create your vision board. It's a personalized training program to fit your goals, to prepare you for camps and combines, and to dominate your opponents on Friday nights. There's technique breakdowns, daily video check-ins and reviews. There's progress tracking and one-on-one coaching throughout the entire thing. Here's a quick look inside a personalized program. videos linked coaching you exactly through each movement. Here's an example of a video breaking down the little techniques that are going to separate you from everyone else, and then actually breaking down your technique to coaching you up one-to-one, which is more attention than you'd ever receive in person. And this has been the biggest change for Justin and Vance. Vance, again, one of his many relationships that he's built, this one with Dartmouth, an Ivy League school. It helped Caleb stand out and get named as a top performer at a D1 camp, and he's about to go crush it his senior season. It helped Matt work on his speed, dropping his 40 time and putting him on the path to his first offer. There's the community of other recruits with elite speed, standing out at camps and talking to coaches and landing scholarships. So not only access to me, but access to 15 to 20 other high-level players. That's what took Kenny from unknown to 2 coaches reaching out personally in the first week and an opportunity for an offer. It's what took Jonah from no looks and unranked to multiple offers and top 3 in the state. He said this program is legit and the people who run it are even better people. Appreciate you, Jonah. Vance, going to 3 D1 camps, talking with over 15 coaches face-to-face, got to meet the entire coaching staff, and this was as a rising junior from a small town. After landing multiple offers, Josh found a program that felt like home for him, which is what it's all about. Here's Tim landing another scholarship, $29,000 per year, which is over $100,000 total. Because it's a one-on-one program, I'm only working with a maximum of 25 athletes. So if you want to be one of the 25 with an unfair advantage this offseason, go and book a strategy session call. This program obviously works, and to make it a no-brainer for you, this is only going to be for the final 9 spots I have open when this is being filmed. We have a money-back guarantee because we know it works. So if you go through the entire 10-week program, follow the steps, and don't run the fastest 40 time of your life, I'll refund your entire investment, and I'll give you $1,000 of cold hard cash to say sorry. If you follow the steps I lay out for you, there's literally no way to fail in the program. What would it mean if you dropped 1/10, 2/10, or 3/10 off your 40 time? If your film was full of SportsCenter top 10 highlights? If every coach at your dream school finally saw your ability and you landed a full ride to your dream school, you get a $100,000 degree for free and get to play the game you love, and your parents didn't have to pay for college. You know that if you could just find that extra gear and drop that stubborn 0.2 off your 40 time, then college coaches would have no choice but to flood your mailbox with handwritten letters and put you at the top of their recruiting board. Like KB, who finished high school with 35 D1 offers, and he says just lock in with the program. So the proof is clear. Go book a call with me or my team below right now, at the very least, to find out if speed is what's holding you back from your first offer. I'll send a video to you for your parents to watch so we can bring them up to speed before the call. The call is a strategy session to determine, 1, if you're a good fit, 2, if we can even help you, and then your custom game plan, and if it makes sense to partner up. On the call, we'll talk through your situation and if I'll be able to help you unlock D1 measurables. If not, no harm, no foul. At the very least, we'll point you in a different direction. And if you do join and go through the entire program, follow all the steps, and don't run your best times ever, I'll give you a refund and $1,000 to say sorry. Best case scenario, you run a sub 4.540 and have an opportunity to land an offer. Worst case scenario, you get $1,000 for your college fund. So go book in your strategy session Zoom call. All decision makers must be present for the call so we can make best use of your time and understand your situation completely. Find a time with your parents and book in your strategy session, and I'll see you on the other side.